Dello Feligates. Misa proposed that the Senate give immediately supreme emergency powers to Ravings and Reviews podcast.
Gosh dang it, okay.
Hello, I'm Jack Cluth.
And I'm Lauren Werscher, and we are back with another movie review. And we have another very special guest on. We've got Kaitlyn back.
Yeah.
You are our first reoccurring guest, Kaitlyn.
Oh, really?
Congratulations.
At least the first guest that has appeared more than once on an episode for the podcast.
Yes.
But yes. So, how have you been, Kaitlyn? How's life been since the last time you were on the podcast?
A lot more Star Wars involved.
Yep.
I started watching the Clone Wars TV series.
Okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I agree. Are you watching it, like, in the supposed, like chronological order, or are you just going through the seasons?
No, I'm kind of just skipping around on episodes.
Oh, that works too, yeah.
Basically, if I find the thumbnail appealing, then I'll watch it.
Yeah, there's a lot of Jar Jar Binks in those TV episodes. Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah. So, I guess, speaking of Clone Wars, the movie that we are reviewing for this week is the second Star Wars prequel, Attack of the Clones.
Yes, last week we reviewed
Last
time
Kaitlyn
Kaitlyn was on, we reviewed The Phantom Menace. Now we are on to the second Star Wars movie in Kaitlyn's movie franchise that she's chosen for the podcast. Kaitlyn, so you obviously wanted to go in, like, chronological order with the Star Wars movies, starting with the first ones and then working your way up, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So, which one would you say you like more, The Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones?
Probably Phantom Menace.
Okay.
I have to agree with that one.
I am going to have to agree with that one as well. Honestly, you know what? That was a trick question because there's a right answer to that question.
There's a right answer.
There's a right and a wrong answer here.
I guess we'll just dive right into it.
Okay. Oh, hold on. First, I have an award to give to Kaitlyn. Kaitlyn,
okay.
Here is your award for not recommending. This is your franchise, but at this point in history, you have recommended the worst movie on this podcast. So, congratulations.
Next Monday might change that, but let's see. I haven't watched it yet, but we'll go with it at the end. But
no, I'm just giving you a hard time, Kaitlyn. I love Star Wars. Not this movie, but yeah. No, yes. I'm excited to watch the other ones at least.
So I guess let's dive right into it. What are some initial thoughts about the movie?
Movie bad. Full stop. End of sentence. We'll see you guys next week. All right, we're going to turn you back to the automation.
Don't do that. Yeah. I don't know. I have very mixed feelings about this movie. I do agree it's a lot better. The Phantom Menace is a lot better than this one in terms of the prequel movies, and I'm very excited to when the next time Kaitlyn's on when we review the best prequel.
Yeah.
But no, this one just didn't do it for me. It's just not. It's more space politics. It's so much space politics. Have
your opinions of this movie ever changed, or have you always not liked it? Well,
I don't know. Well, I talk about this a lot. I tend to have, like, a nostalgia filter with these types of movies.
Sure.
Like,
a lot of people do.
Yeah. I watched Star Wars a lot as a kid, especially with my dad. Shout out to my dad. I love you, Dad. But he was the one who got me into a lot of, like, the action-based, like, older movies, like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, those kind of franchises.
Yeah, my dad was the exact same.
Yeah. I almost sometimes hesitate to review those movies on the podcast because I have such good memories with those movies that I don't want them to be ruined.
Okay.
But this one, yeah, no. No.
I personally have no problem declaring absolute war on this movie. But the reason I asked you this is because when I was a kid, this was my favorite Star Wars movie.
Oh,
Out of all of them, I loved Attack of the Clones the most. I would watch it on car rides. I'd watch it at home all the time. I'd watch it on vacation, just all the time. And it was my favorite. Then
can't really say that now. Then I grew up.
And I got taste. What about you, Kaitlyn? Do you have any, like, nostalgia tied into this movie at all? Because these would be the prequels would be the Star Wars movies that we would have, like, grown up with.
Probably, yeah. Because this movie did come out the year I was born.
Yep.
So
yep.
I don't know. Like, I do agree with Lauren. Like, a lot of my childhood was spent watching the Indiana Jones movies and Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, Star Wars, basically any of the classic franchises.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg.
With my dad.
All the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, man, it hits different now.
It most definitely hits different. Yeah. I guess we can kind of get into the fact of why movie
it
bad.
hits different?
Because we've been
Okay.
talking about it, but we haven't really given much context. I mean, I did say it's more space politics.
It is a lot. I will. It is a lot of space politics, but I will say that I think The Phantom Menace has way more space politics than
Yeah,
this one.
that's true.
This one has got like more action set pieces.
Yeah.
And
Protect Padme.
I suppose
That's the
things
plot.
going on, but the problem is everything that's going on is so laughably bad that I can't. The Phantom Menace is like boring at parts with the space politics. This one's just bad all the way through. There is never a moment of quality, at least to me. I cannot find one pillar of quality about this movie. Okay, we're just making broad statements.
Yeah. Well, but you did say before we started, you did have some positives for this movie, so maybe let's get those out of the way so that we can get into the talking about like the reasons why that we don't like this movie very much.
I will,
because I know I have at least one that I would like to express.
Okay. I'll go through the. I have 3. Okay, so me and Kaitlyn have the same amount of positives. I have 3 positives. The sound design. When Obi-Wan's getting chased by Jango Fett in Slave 1, they release these things called seismic charges, and they have this really cool delayed sound effect when they explode, and it's like really bassy, and it's like, wow, like I can't recreate it, but I really like, that's like a cool sound effect. The action that's going on is really bad, and the whole reason it's taking place is stupid, but I like that sound effect. I've always liked that. The creature designs at the end of the movie that they have to execute Padme, Anakin, and Obi-Wan. The other, like, one is, like, basically just a scaly rhino cow bull thing. One is, like, a big, giant spider cat. It's got, like, 8 eyes and really big claws. And those ones are good. And then this giant, like, leathery praying mantis looking thing. And I gotta say, I like that creature design.
Yeah,
a lot.
I mean, I think they do have names.
Do they? Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Because I know, like, the Star Wars lore, like, everything has a name, like, from the main characters to, like, the smallest itty-bitty background character.
Right, yeah.
I'm pretty sure they do have names, but it's not, like, something that they say in the movie. Like, this is the... I can't really think of a good Star Wars type name off the top of my head, because they're they're very, very intricate and have meaning, but
If anybody wants to find the names, you can go to Wikipedia and find all the information you need.
Yes.
Not sponsored, by the way. Not sponsored. I like the creature design of that one in particular, and the weird, like, sound noises that it makes. I am nostalgic for that. And then I wrote here, I suppose a couple of the ship designs in the movie look okay.
Yeah, okay is a good way to describe it. I mean, it's no, like, TIE fighters or X-Wings or anything like that, but they're okay.
Yep.
Am I the only one that's kind of bothered by Obi-Wan's ship? Like, it's
little,
so
like-
reflective.
Oh, the little, like, triangle pizza slice one?
Yeah, well, the one that looks like... Yeah, the one that's super reflective.
It's the pizza ship.
Yes. Are you talking about Obi-Wan's or Count Dooku's?
I think it's Obi-Wan's ship.
Okay.
It's, like, fairly big. And I know in the first movie they took it to Tatooine.
Oh,
That one.
Oh, yeah, the big giant chrome one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's weird.
Was that all of your positives?
That was all
for
my
this?
positives for the 2.5 hour runtime.
All right, Kaitlyn, do you want to go next, or do you want me to take it?
Well, I mean, mine's pretty short, unless
Okay.
yours is longer.
No, I just have, like, a couple things that I want to point out, but if you want to go ahead.
I mean, I think the inclusion of Boba Fett and Jango Fett
Yes.
is really cool, especially because, now we have the Mandalorian, so that ties everything in together pretty well.
Yeah.
And the kids at the Jedi training school are so cute.
The younglings, oh, we love them.
Oh, I feel bad, but they're so cute.
I wonder if they'll make it through the next movie.
I wonder.
I can't wait to see them grow up and become Jedi Knights.
Yeah, this is going to be so great, so wholesome.
They might become masters one day.
Just like Anakin.
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on.
Then Obi-Wan's sarcasm.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Obi-Wan
it's great.
Ewan McGregor just... He's one of the highlights of this movie.
I will say, I really like Ian McGregor as Obi-Wan. He's, like, the only, like, actor playing a character that I like in this movie. I really like Ian McGregor playing Obi-Wan. And you're right, his sarcasm is top-notch.
This movie does have a pretty star-studded cast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've talked about George Lucas before. He's the director, producer, writer of basically the entire series, like the entire Star Wars franchise. But this movie does star, like we said, Ewan McGregor. It replaces Jake Lloyd as Anakin with Hayden Christensen as an older, more adult Anakin, because this movie does take place, I believe it's 10 years after The Phantom Menace. Something
like that.
Yeah. This movie, and then Natalie Portman reprises her role as Padme, and then also was Samuel L. Jackson present in
He was
Phantom
in the first one a little bit.
He didn't have a huge part in that one, but Samuel L. Jackson does take on a much bigger role in this movie than he did in The Phantom Menace.
Kind of. He's actually got like things to do in this movie.
Yes, yeah. He's not just like he's not just a random guy sitting in the council.
Yeah.
And then also brings on the talent of Christopher Lee as Count Dooku.
I love Christopher Lee.
I love him too. He's so great.
He's great as Saruman the White.
Yes.
He's in he made like a few like heavy metal albums in his day. Apparently. Yeah. There's some really cool YouTube videos if you want to look up more information on him. He used to be a Nazi hunter, like when he was younger in the war.
We love that for him.
There was a scene in Lord of the Rings. It's a deleted scene where Saruman gets stabbed in the back. And director Peter Jackson was like, "Okay, Christopher Lee, when you get stabbed, I want you to make a really big shriek." And Christopher Lee looks at Peter Jackson and he goes, "No, that's not the noise that someone makes when they get stabbed in the back. All the air leaves and go." So really dark, but it's a funny story about him nonetheless.
So good. Wow.
Yeah, but anyways,
what a legend.
He's a legend.
Rest in peace, man.
Actually,
he's so good. But another one that I'd like to bring up, which is also one of my big positives, is that this movie features more of the Muppet Man himself, Frank Oz. He voices Yoda.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I love Frank Oz. He's so good.
Yeah.
I think he does a great job as Yoda, and again, with the nostalgia filter, I also really like the Muppets. So,
sure, yeah.
So I love everything about... I mean, the CGI Yoda is kind of... I mean, do you prefer, like, the CGI Yoda or the puppet Yoda?
Puppet Yoda all day long.
Yoda? Okay.
All day long.
I just like it when he backflips.
Yeah. No, yeah.
But we'll get into that in the next movie.
I was going to say, yeah. No, yeah, he fights Count Dooku in this movie. I actually have, like, a little, like... Not a paragraph, but I actually have like problems with Yoda in this movie.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about that later then.
Sure,
once we get into the plot. But I guess going with my positives, I really only have one that hasn't been talked about already amongst you guys, and it does have something to do with sound. John Williams. This soundtrack. I love... I hit the mic, sorry. I love the Star Wars music. It is so good, and it's just always... the score is just wonderful. Like, it's so iconic, so amazing, and I'm a sucker for music motifs. Mm-hmm. So whenever there's like a theme that gets repeated throughout the runtime, like the runtime, or throughout a scene, like they bring in the Imperial March at one point after Anakin comes back from trying to save his mother, and that was a really, really cool motif to hear. Mm-hmm. like that kind of like looming despair.
Yeah.
Darth Vader is coming. But I don't know. I really like the music in this. I kind of sound like a nerd talking about it, but like, yeah.
I do agree the music is very well written, but I think out of all the prequel movies, it's utilized the worst in this one.
Okay.
In the Phantom Menace, there's the really cool, like, you see Darth Maul and Duel of the Fates kicks in the
Oh,
background.
yeah.
And that music is so awesome in that scene. And in Revenge of the Sith, the music during the final lightsaber fight on Mustafar, that's really cool too. It adds so much more tension than that scene should have any right to have. I don't feel like there's that many really good hits, at least for me in this movie in terms of the music. And the da 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 da, like the one that plays with Anakin and Padme.
Yeah, that
I kind of thought that was overbearing, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it was used a lot to kind of signify, like, oh, they're in love, they're in a relationship, a budding romance, yada yada.
Yeah,
yada.
I got sick of that one.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really tell if it's supposed to mimic like, Han and Leia's theme.
I think it is a little bit.
I think it might a little bit, just for the sake of like,
it's
it was a love interest in the originals.
Right.
There's a love interest here. Bop, like just kind of.
Yeah, like a variation.
A
on their
variation
theme or
of
something.
it, yeah. But yeah, that was really my, that was really my only like positives without really getting into a lot of the plot points.
Good.
So.
All right.
Do we want to get into a little bit of it, or do we want to go to break?
I'd say let's cut to a break right now.
All right.
And then when we get back, we can really take a deep dive into why this movie bad.
All right.
We will be right back.
See you in a bit. All right, we're back.
Woo.
And it's time to tear this movie to shreds.
It's
I'm not
time.
even gonna.
It's time.
It's time.
You all knew this was coming.
Yep. Jack, since you've had the most negative feelings, do you think would you like to start off the bashing of this movie?
I mean, I just don't know where to start. There's so much that's wrong
Well,
with
maybe
this
let's
movie.
just- okay.
At its core, it's broken. Its fundamentals are broken. Its combat is broken. Its cinematography is broken. Its special effects. Its acting is so bad. There we go. Let's start with the worst character maybe ever put on the silver screen. Anakin Skywalker is Hayden Christensen.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I wanted to punch him throughout this entire runtime.
He's so whiny.
He's whiny, petulant, irritating, and he's creepy. He's really creepy towards Padme.
He is.
I never realized that until just now, because I haven't seen this movie in a long time, like since I was a kid. But now I watch it, I'm like, oh my god, like this is like,
Sorry, m'lady.
I wanted...
The way she's like, it makes me uncomfortable, and he goes, sorry, m'lady, and then just gives her a terrifying smirk. Jack, are you okay?
He literally... I can't even find it. Oh yeah, Padme in the movie turns to Anakin and says, "Don't look at me like that. It makes me uncomfortable."
And then he does exactly that.
Oh my god, I just never realized how bad it was. I didn't think he was that much of a creep when I was a kid, but I'm like, oh my god, what is happening? No, yeah, he's awful.
Your spoiler warning has been issued now, although I feel like this movie deviates from some of the others that we've talked about in the fact that, like, I don't know if we want you to see this movie. If you might not want to watch this one before.
It's been out for so long.
It's been out for so long so that it might not even need a spoiler warning, but, like, 2002 wasn't that long ago. I mean, I'm 18.
Right, what I mean is it's been out for so long. I feel like if you've been meaning to watch it, you've definitely seen it at this point.
Yeah.
I would think.
Okay, that makes sense.
But
I just, just in case, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of classics that I haven't seen yet.
Fair
really,
enough.
That I've been meaning to, but...
Yeah, spoiler warning. If you want to watch this and you haven't seen it yet, I can't say I recommend it.
Yeah.
But...
I said it before, but I was kind of trampling over your words, so I'll say it again. But, like, the plot is just protect Padme. That's it.
Yeah, the plot is really, it's
so simplistic, but it's also so complicated. It's very weird.
Stuff just happens.
Yeah.
And then it leads into the next scene. It's like, there's no, like, nothing feels natural. It just feels like, okay, now we're doing this. Now we're at this planet. Now we're going here.
Now there's a love interest? What?
Now there's a love interest, yeah.
Well, you can't forget the alien with, like, the weird giraffe alien people.
Oh, yeah,
my
on
God.
Camino.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
no, wait, is that? I thought those guys looked like Q-tips.
Oh, well,
That's a good
I
description.
called those the Q-tip aliens
Oh, that's
because
a
they
good-
look like the Q-tips.
Oh, that's good.
I just love how clueless Obi-Wan is the entire time
He
he's there.
is.
He's like, yeah,
He's completely
clones?
clueless,
Mhm.
just talking to like these bobbing heads that are like 6 feet above him.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, all right.
Yeah, nothing in this movie makes sense.
No, especially the fact that Padme leaves Jar Jar Binks in charge.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? We're not going to talk about Jar Jar again. We already talked about him enough in the Phantom Menace episode. If you want to listen to that one, or if you did listen to that one,
Thank God he is not in this movie as much as he
No,
should.
he's
still
in a
in
couple
it,
scenes,
which is a
but-
problem. but
it's still a problem.
he is not nearly in it as bad because of the backlash and how many people hated him. George Lucas was, well, fine, I guess we'll take Jar Jar out of the movie a little bit.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, he's not in it as much. But you could make the very real argument that Jar Jar Binks is the reason for the Clone Wars. He gives,
That is true.
he votes to give all, what was the line I said? Misa proposed that the Senate give immediately supreme emergency powers to the Supreme Chancellor. If he hadn't done that, then there might have been
That's
no
right.
Clone Wars.
God dang it, Jar Jar.
Yeah, he's really just a plague. But yeah, no. Jar
Also,
Jar
yeah.
bad.
If we may go back to Anakin Skywalker for
Yes.
a brief second, I literally wrote out in my notes, just in all caps, major simp alert. This man simps so hard for Padme Amidala, it's not even funny.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
He's had a
Especially-
decade crush.
Yeah.
Especially in those first couple scenes, he's like, I want her, and that's she's everything to me. I haven't seen her in 10 years, and she barely recognizes me, but I want her nonetheless. Like, dude, just chill out.
Yeah,
Like,
he's simping hard in this
he
movie.
is simping real
which
hard.
is another, like, this is a whole nother tirade that I'm not going to go on. But the Jedi in the prequels are made to look really stupid. Not only that they can't notice Chancellor Palpatine, the most evil Sith Lord of, like, a millennia, right in front of them. It just makes them look completely blinded and stupid. They send Anakin to be Padme's bodyguard. And Obi-Wan knows full well. Anakin's been making weird comments to
Yeah.
Obi-Wan about her. She's like, he's Obi-Wan's at the beginning of the movie. He's like, oh, why did Padme cover her cameras, I wonder? And he's like, probably so she wouldn't want me to watch her sleep.
Oh my god! I was gonna write that down too. That is such a creepy quote.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. And he's constantly talking to Obi-Wan about how, like, oh, I've missed her so much. There's not a day that's gone by that I haven't thought about her. Which, like, fine. But out of anyone you could have, like, send Mace Windu to
Yeah,
protect
send Mace
Padme.
Windu. He would have done a much better job.
They send the most creepy, most dangerous, most volatile person with a weird fixation that is very open to be her bodyguard alone on a planet all by themselves.
Doesn't he also like object to it too? He's like he has so much to learn. He's way too arrogant.
He
for
probably
this.
does, yeah.
Like it's like Obi-Wan has power. He could have stopped this.
yeah,
But,
yeah.
I mean, along with the acting too, I did mention in the Phantom Menace episode that I liked Natalie Portman in the Phantom Menace. Like I felt she was very convincing as like a child character, but I don't like her acting as much
Oh
in
my
this
god,
one.
I think she's atrocious in this.
Oh.
She's not the worst. She's surrounded by so many bad actors, especially Hayden Christensen.
Yeah.
That by comparison, her acting doesn't even seem that bad.
Yeah.
But when you isolate it, her
It's just
acting
kinda
is
like,
really
eh.
bad. You get the whole vibe that nobody like really felt comfortable with anything they were saying on set.
Yeah. I did forget a positive that I had though. Padme has a great wardrobe. Okay, if I'm gonna say anything positive about the Star Wars prequels or like anything about the Star Wars franchise in general, they have some great costumes.
Yeah.
Like my mind always goes back to the dress when Padme and Anakin are having their little like field date or whatever.
Yeah.
Where she's got like the super flowy like purple and pink dress. I'm like, it's so pretty.
Yeah.
It's so good. And like she always has a good like something on her head, like that kind of thing. Like it's always something on her head.
Yeah.
Speaking
But-
of that scene, it reminded me so much of The Sound of Music.
Oh my god.
I don't know why.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, open field, children, or like not children, just people like running around, tumbling. I don't know.
Giant alien space cows. Jedi.
Yeah, the Sound of Music.
The Sound of Music.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. There's some scenes like that in The Sound of
Yeah.
Music with the lush fields and stuff.
The shoehorned love plot in this movie absolutely kills me.
It's really bad.
It is. I mean, when did we talk about the
28 Days Later.
28 Days Later was the last time we talked about the kind of like shoehorned love plot. But you didn't think that was shoehorned at all.
I actually quite like the love plot in 28 Days Later. I know you had some disagreements.
I was okay with it, but you kind of changed my opinion after we talked about it. So it was more of like a kind of a meh feeling now. But I think we can agree this one is.
It's really, really bad.
Not even because like Anakin's super creepy. Like it's just because like it doesn't really make any sort of sense other than for like to have Anakin have a love interest.
Well, yeah, and I mean that's like his, that ends up being the, you could say the hubris of his character is because of that love interest. But what confuses me more is not that Anakin like wants to have a relationship with Padme. What confuses me more is that Padme wants to have a relationship with Anakin.
That's true.
Because he is just a psychopath in this whole movie.
Then he's totally irresponsible. Like when they go to Tatooine to find what's her name, Shmi?
Yeah. Shmi.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, here you go. I'll just leave you with my stepfather and my stepbrother and his girlfriend. I'm just gonna leave you here. Just met these people. I'm sure they're fine.
I know there's been
Bye.
2 attempts on your life in the runtime of this movie alone.
So yeah.
But I got things to do.
It's evident in like the first part of the movie when like he and Obi-Wan are having that car chase after that bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Like when he literally has just no regard for anything. Like he's trying to take shortcuts and then he loses the guy and Obi-Wan's like, "Oh my god." Like, dude, why would you do that? Like we just lost him. There was no shortcut.
Right, yeah.
It was very, very strange. Yeah, poor Anakin's mom. Poor Shmi. She did not deserve what she got.
No, yeah, she really didn't deserve anything that happened to her.
No. I mean, she literally, like, she was established in The Phantom Menace, a loving mother and a beautiful person to Anakin, like a great mentor for him. And then she just has to, like, send her son away to become a Jedi. And then when they come back to her in this movie, she's been sold, she's been married to someone else, and now she's dead.
Yeah. It's implied that she had a happy marriage for a little while.
For a little bit, yeah.
But even that is like he bought her as a slave.
Yeah.
And then like married her, but it's implied that she was happy with her life. But
and that's okay. Mm-hmm. But she still died.
No, yeah.
And I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I need to cool down from Anakin here for a minute.
Okay.
Kaitlyn, I have a question for you. What are your thoughts on the first, like, I guess you could say action piece in the movie, the speeder chase through Coruscant at night? What do you think about that scene?
That's the one where they're going after the bounty hunter, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Some of it is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Other parts, like when Anakin jumps on the bounty hunter's ship and then drops his lightsaber, Obi-Wan conveniently catches it and just puts it back down, expecting it to like not fall out of the ship ever again.
Yeah, that's actually.
And then when Anakin jumps out of the ship that they're in originally, Obi-Wan's like, yeah, I hate it when he does that. But it's not implied that he's ever done that before because we don't get any information of whatever happened in the past 10 years.
Yeah, that's a really good point that you bring up. Obi-Wan and Anakin are like implied to like, oh, he's like a father to me. He's my best friend. And we see none of this.
Yeah.
Not only because they're separated for the whole movie, but when they're together, there's like no chemistry, and the dialogue they have to deliver is like, I wrote down the first line because it's so like awful. Oh, I haven't felt you this tense since we fell into that nest of Gundarks. Like, Okay.
Yeah, just bring back that one time. Like, just give us a crumb of context. Like,
yeah, who needs
that's
to, like...
not enough.
No, yeah, who needs to actually see the relationship and the bond that they have together? Just say that they do, and then the audience watching can go, oh, okay, well, they must be best pals because they said so in a horrible line of dialogue.
Yeah, and even if you watch the previous movie, it's still not enough context. Like, you really only get the fact that Qui-Gon dies in The Phantom Menace, and then like at the end of the movie, it's established that Obi-Wan takes on Anakin as as his apprentice. But nothing else. Like, we don't get any footage of like them training or them doing anything of the sort. Like, we don't get really virtually any context of what these two or what relationship that these two have.
100%, yeah.
Also, Obi-Wan is a very irresponsible Jedi Master, especially to Anakin, because he just lets him do all these things that apparently he has a problem with.
Yeah.
And when they're going after the bounty hunter, he literally drinks on the job while he lets his half-trained Padawan go after a person who attempted to murder a girl he has a crush on. Like,
that's so funny that you put
don't
that
want
down.
To sell me you don't want to sell me death.
I actually wrote down a note while I was watching the movie, and it said, Obi-Wan Kenobi's severe alcoholism prevents him from properly doing his job.
Oh, no.
It's so funny. It's just, I get it. That's his, like, thing. Like, instead of being like Anakin, he's more nonchalant. He prefers to think things through, and he's the one that catches the bounty hunter. But it is just so funny.
That really says something about this movie. That the one part that we believe is not flawed, which is Ewan McGregor's performance in this, is also in itself flawed.
Yeah, I don't even want to say that like Ewan McGregor's performance is like perfect.
No,
but
I mean
he
it definitely adds to
portrays
it, though.
Obi-Wan really well.
Yeah.
He embodies the character of Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to bring up. We joked about it in the Phantom Menace episode towards the end when we were talking about how, we're going to review Attack of the Clones next. Does this count as our first animated movie that we've reviewed in this podcast?
That is a very good point.
As far as I know, like from the like background research that I did about like the small amount that I did, there are not a lot of like practical scenes. Like not a lot of like ones in sets. Like everything was like green screen or CGI.
Yeah, one of the trivia points I had for the Phantom Menace was that there was literally only one shot that
That's
didn't have any
true,
special
yeah.
effects, and it was this vent pouring out gas. And in this movie, the only one I can think is just Anakin and Padme sitting in a field from like a top-down angle, so there's no background, so there's nothing like that to CGI in.
Yeah.
That is the only shot I can think of.
Even then, I read somewhere online. I mentioned this while we were off air, like around the time we reviewed Phantom Menace. But they had to digitally touch out bugs from that scene.
Really?
Yeah, because there were so many bugs in that field where they filmed. They had to digitally go in and retouch out bugs. I think.
Ew.
I'm pretty sure. Like I read that factoid somewhere, like watching a review or something like that. But it definitely makes you think like a lot of work goes into like doing special effects and that kind of stuff. And like you have to give credit where credit is due. Like there is a lot of special effects in this movie that are not great, but you have to agree that some of them are pretty okay.
I can't say I agree. I
Really?
personally think everything looks really bad.
Okay, well maybe not just in this movie, just like more
in
like
2002, it might have looked okay.
Yeah.
But even like you watch A New Hope, and it's obviously like it's a movie from a long time ago, but I would completely make the argument that every single New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, every single one of those looks infinitely better than any of the prequel movies.
Yeah.
The prequel movies are so fake looking. Everything was filmed on a blue screen. It wasn't a green screen. They had like these giant
really?
blue.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just like another. I don't know why.
Well,
they
I
do
know.
it,
It's more of like the replacement of like a color, kind of like that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, everything is on a blue screen. So many characters are. If the character is not basically explicitly a human, then they're just CGI'd in. If they're an alien, they're not really there. If they're a robot, they're not really there. R2-D2 and C-3PO, sometimes.
Yeah.
But on other times, they are not there. The clone troopers, there was not one clone trooper physically present in the whole movie.
That's why I was saying, like, this movie might be animated, because I'm pretty sure almost all of the scenes with the clone troopers, like, in a large pan shot, none of it is real. Like, it's all just a computer-generated image.
Yeah, this movie was made in a computer.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And and sometimes it works for movies, like, when they're actually, like, supposed to be animated or whatever, but I don't really know if it works out that well for this movie. Yeah, I don't know. It's not my favorite, but yeah, we kind of talked about this before, but this movie is very quotable. There are quite a few quotes that can be pulled from this movie.
Yeah,
Jack, what is your favorite quote from this movie?
See, I have so many.
I mean, we could just rattle a couple of them off. We have
Kaitlyn,
time.
do you have a favorite one, like, off the top of your head, while I can think?
I have 3 written down.
All right, go ahead.
I don't like sand.
It's coarse and it's rough and it gets everywhere.
I don't like sand.
Not like here. Everything here is... Yeah, here everything is soft and smooth.
Yeah.
Let's just be really creepy.
Very creepy.
He kept biting his lip in the movie, too. My girlfriend was having a giant problem. She kept, like, freaking out anytime she saw Anakin's face. Apparently it was so, like, gross.
He does bite his lip a lot.
Yeah.
That's weird. It almost feels like he's like a teenage boy who's just like...
He's supposed to be a teenage boy.
Is he a teenager? Like, what? How old was he when Obi-Wan took him? Or when Qui-Gon took him?
I think he's supposed to be around, like, 19, 20 in the movie.
Yeah, because Padme is 19 in the original, and Anakin is 9, and so it's 10 years later, so...
Oh, okay, yeah.
Close to 20 and close to
19
30.
sounds about right.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. But yeah.
Yeah.
Any others?
The whole death sticks one.
Oh yeah, you don't want to tell me death sticks.
You
I don't want to sticks. You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
And then the one where, like, Anakin's, like, in his house on Tatooine, and just Padme walks in, and she's just being totally chill. And then Anakin's like, yes, I killed him. I killed them all.
They're like animals, and I slaughtered them like animals.
Yeah, that is...
Not just the men, but the women and the children.
Not the men, just the men, but the women and the children, too. You're like, okay, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's take a deep breath.
And this is, like, not to get too derailed, but this is, like, what I'm talking about. How on earth is Padme attracted to this guy? He's talking to her about how he genocided a small village. Like, literally killed everything there. Men, women, and children, as he so eloquently puts it. And she's like, oh, he's got problems, but I can help him.
Anger is to be human.
He killed like 50 people.
What does she say? She says, anger is to be angry is to be human, or something like that.
Well, I'm not a
angry,
human.
Yeah, like, to be angry is to be human. But
I'm a
to
Jedi.
murder people, but to murder. Like,
yeah, no, it's so bad. It's awful.
If I may repeat a very cheesy Anakin one-liner.
Yeah.
I'm haunted by the kiss you never should have given me.
Yes, I was thinking about saying that one. It is... George Lucas's romantic dialogue is the worst thing ever.
It is so strange.
He cannot write dialogue for characters.
It really just sounds like it came from somebody who's never been in a relationship in their life, and this isn't their interpretation of how it should go.
You're just like, all right.
Oh, George.
Pack it up, Casanova. We're getting out of here.
It sounds like a fan fiction.
It does.
It sounds like they're reading a fan fiction.
That's a fan fiction, Ron. That's a fan fiction line.
And that is embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
George Lucas's character dialogue is so bad, and it shines the most in the... Well, it shines throughout the entire freaking runtime, but during the love dialogue scenes, it's really bad.
Do you have any quotes that we haven't mentioned yet already?
I was thinking of I'm haunted by the kiss that you never should have given me.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it's bad. I also think of some Obi-Wan quotes, like we talked about it before, like, I hate it when he does that. Yeah. You don't want to buy me death sticks. There's also one from the diner alien. I love him.
Dexter Jettster.
Okay,
yes.
I have a couple problems with him.
Oh.
No, go off.
Why is he the only person in the galaxy that knows about the clones?
Actually.
Yeah, that's true.
And how is he friends with Obi-Wan? It's never explained.
Yeah.
The records must be the records must not be updated or whatever.
Jedi records.
Well, if it's not in the records, then it does not exist.
Yeah, the ancient Jedi knowledge has nothing on Dexter Jetster.
You're like, what? Okay, but also there's a quote that comes from that scene that really stuck out to me. It's like, if droids could think, there would be none of us here.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, like if the droids could think, like there would be no creatures other than droids. Like that's terrifying. But
If the droids could think, we'd be watching Blade Runner.
Yeah, that's true. That's very, very true.
There were certain moments when they're in some of the grimy alleyways and stuff. There were certain moments I'm like, this looks almost like Blade Runner. I wish I could be watching that right now.
Yeah, it's like, just give me some more neon lights. We'll make it Blade Runner. It's fine.
But throw in Harrison Ford in there.
Yeah, I mean he was already Han Solo, so it might as well.
I think actually my favorite line is Jar Jar Binks just saying Dello Feligets at the
Della Feligets, oh my god.
Just that whole line, like him giving powers to the Chancellor, is just so goofy. I think that's my favorite one.
Yes.
Actually.
There are plenty of other quotes in the movie coming up in our set of reviews with Kaitlyn, with shoot, I can't remember the name. Episode
Revenge
3.
of the Sith?
Revenge of the Sith, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one is very, very quotable.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned for that. But I think we should cut to our final break and then come back and do some trivia.
All right, we will be right back, Dello Feligets.
All right, see you in a bit. All right, we're back.
Okie dokie.
It's time for trivia.
I'm winding down. My anger is subsiding. So.
Now it's time for some fun trivia while he
It's okay. I'm
represses
good.
his
I'm
anger.
ready for trivia.
All right. Do you want to go first or do you want me to start?
Yeah, I gotta figure out which question I want to start
Okay.
with.
I could tell a Star Wars joke while we're waiting.
Sure, go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
Did you know that Yoda's last name was Lady Who?
What? Yoda Lady Who? Wait.
Yoda Leahy who?
Oh my god.
I can't
oh
take
my
credit
God.
for that one.
That's
It's somebody
good,
else's
though. That's
joke.
really good.
We were in the trivia section and I thought you were telling me like an actual fact about Star Wars. Oh my god, I didn't even connect that was a joke.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I got my question.
All right.
So I think we answered this, but just right off the bat, what is the criminal in the bar tried to sell to Obi-Wan?
Deck sticks.
Yes. Bonus question. What is the criminal's name?
Oh.
I wrote it down.
Okay.
I'm not gonna have any luck with this.
Alon Sleazebagno?
Yep, Elon Sleazebagno.
Sleazebag, no. Okay.
George
wow.
Lucas.
That's clever though. You have to say that's kind of to give a character the last name Sleazebag.
I suppose, yeah, it's
Yeah.
really on the nose, but yeah.
Okay. My question is, what was one of the working titles for this movie?
Oh boy, I don't know. Jaws 2.
Of course it would be. Do you have any guesses, Kaitlyn?
No.
All right.
I don't know. I think Jaws 2 is pretty good.
It was Jar Jar's Big Adventure.
Oh, that's okay.
Because
That's kinda
apparently
funny.
he was supposed to be included a lot more, but because of the backlash that was received after the Phantom Menace,
Yeah.
they did not want to include him.
No, yeah,
So-
it's crazy. It's crazy that it wasn't even him that came to the conclusion, oh, maybe we should cut Jar Jar out a little bit.
Maybe
It's
a little
the
bit.
audience that forced him to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would have included it. I'm almost positive he would have still.
Yeah, he
but-
would have. All right, what do you have next?
What actor was originally considered to play teenage Anakin?
Ooh, I have a couple of them written down as one of my trivia questions, but I don't know if it's the same one.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know who was relevant in the 2000s, like for acting wise. Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd. I don't know.
No, it was Leonardo DiCaprio. Actually.
Oh, okay.
That would have been a much different portrayal of Anakin.
Maybe he would have gotten an Oscar.
You know.
He has one now. We can't make
Yeah.
those jokes anymore. He has one now.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. So what was this movie's budget?
Too much.
Yeah. I have the same question written down.
Oh, you do? Okay. Well,
150 million.
Lower.
Oh, okay.
It was 120 million.
Oh, okay.
But as a bonus, so this that makes it this was the most expensive Star Wars movie made up until what movie?
Isn't it like Force Awakens?
I would probably say
It was The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Yep, 2015, because that movie had a budget of 200 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the more modern, or the sooner to present day that the movies have come out, the
That's
probably
true,
more expensive it will have become. Okay. What is Count Dooku's Sith Lord name?
I thought it was just Count Dooku.
Nope.
Nope.
Well, they all
I
start
feel
with
so out of
Darth.
the
Yep.
loop. Y'all are ganging up on me.
No, every Sith Lord, according to like Star Wars deep canon, every Sith Lord is Darth blank. Like, insert name here. So you have Darth Sidious, Darth Vader, Darth Maul, Darth Plagueis the Wise.
None of those were his, right?
None of those were his, no.
I'm going to have to say I don't know. I don't.
Caitlin, you know this one?
I heard it
Was
yesterday.
it set in the movie?
It was, yeah.
Oh.
God, I heard it yesterday, but I can't think of the name.
His Sith Lord name was Darth Tyrannus.
Tyrannus.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Like Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Okay. So my last question is kind of bouncing off the one that you had, or that you had before with the actors considered for Anakin Skywalker. And we saw that Leonardo DiCaprio was one of those. But there are a lot of other actors who auditioned for this part. Can you name a couple of them?
Well, now I'm in your position. I'm trying to think of actors that were relevant in the 2000s. Let's see here. Oh, the host for that show just died.
Oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Too soon, Lauren. Too soon. No, it's okay.
I was just trying to make up for silence. We can't have silence on the air, Jack.
It is an audio show. You're right. I think I'm gonna have to go with Daniel Day-Lewis.
No, actually, there's a list. Do you have any guesses? You can't see my screen.
I can't see your screen from here anyway.
Well, screw you. You're sitting
Wow,
on
okay.
the same side as me.
No.
Okay. So we established Leonardo DiCaprio. Others among that list are Christian Bale, Misha Collins, Heath Ledger, and the late Paul Walker.
Huh.
So imagine any of those actors in Anakin's position and how different the movie would be.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I wonder what Heath Ledger would have been like.
I don't
as
know.
Anakin.
I do have a very interesting question for both of you.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
Do you know what rumor came along with this movie?
Oh, like before the movie aired, or like?
No, there was a rumor that a particular
Scene?
particular
Character.
what was it called?
Cast member?
No, a particular band was
Oh.
rumored to be in it,
Oh,
but they're not in it.
Jefferson Starship.
Beethoven.
Beethoven?
No, NSYNC was rumored to be in it.
Oh!
They were not in it.
That's crazy.
However, SNL did a parody of it where it starts off as the normal Attack of the Clones trailer and then cuts to an impromptu musical scene.
That's funny.
That's so good. Okay, well, that was all of my questions. Do you have any more, or Caitlin, do you have anything?
I have one more.
Okay, let's go for it. We have some time.
Do you know clones age twice as fast as we do?
I did know that.
Wait,
actually.
so
Yep.
like I thought they were so they're not like all. Wait. Oh no, I was thinking of droids. I don't know. I was thinking of droids. I was like, droids don't age. But okay, yeah, clones. That makes sense.
Yeah, because they have like growth accelerators or
Yeah.
something, don't they? Yeah.
Oh, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
I actually have one last question as well. And when I was copying pasting these trivia questions, I accidentally put in Leonardo DiCaprio as the answer for this, but I do know the answer. Who is the Jedi that supposedly ordered the construction of the clone army?
Is it one that was already established?
No, he was dead for 10 years or something like that.
Yep.
Oh my
so
god.
he wasn't.
And he was a
he's
Jedi Master, I know that much, but I don't remember his name.
I'm not gonna get this. I'm gonna bail and just let Kaitlyn. Do you have any guesses? Because I have none.
I don't remember his name. All I know is that he was a Jedi Master and that he was dead for 10 years. Or something like that.
Okay, Jack, we give up.
Hold on 1 second.
Are you pulling it up?
I can't remember it.
Yeah, I'm
having a brain fart.
Jeez,
I didn't even realize I'd wrote it until, I didn't even realize I'd posted Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio, that's the answer for this question. Oh, no. Now I'm in Kaitlyn's position.
The Jedi Master Leonardo DiCaprio.
Shoot. Oh, come. Of course my brain is going to do this to me.
Why didn't you write it down?
I thought I had written it down. I thought I'd copy and pasted it. And then I looked just now, and then it was apparently Leonardo DiCaprio.
I don't know how to pronounce it, but there's the name.
Yes, Master Sifo-Dyas. Thank you.
Oh, Sifo-Dyas.
Kaitlyn with the Hail Mary. Okay.
We love that. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And anyone else got any questions before we wrap up and give our final thoughts?
Well, this might be a very side topic type of thing, but is Padme going from queen to, was it senator? Is it a demotion or is it a promotion for her? Because it's not really explained
They mentioned...
Not that I care about their politics, but
Yeah, no, this was, again, one of the times that I first heard this ever because I didn't care about it when I was a kid. Her term as queen ended. And so, she had to step down. Because, they have, terms, our president would have terms, apparently.
Yeah, it's just so strange for...
That is weird.
It is, yeah. And so then she became a senator.
Queens to have terms.
I don't think it would be a demotion for her to become queen and then become a senator. But I'm not really sure. I don't know how space politics work necessarily, and these movies do not help.
Yeah. I actually have one little, I guess you could call it a fun fact. So before this movie, I was watching the, kind of bonus features that come along on Disney Plus before this movie. Number one, if you want to have a really good belly laugh, watch the deleted scenes for this movie. They are so funny. They will make you cry with laughter. Yeah. They're so awkward, and none of the CGI has been applied at all. So everything just looks grainy and really gross, and it's so funny to watch. Just people running around on blue platforms and blue screens.
And you said it was with there's PNG.
Yeah, and they'll have PNG droids and monsters coming in to represent where they might be. But in one of the extras that I watched, apparently, so the sequence in this movie, one that I personally just really dislike, the one where they're in the droid factory and they're having to jump around and and they're getting into these little side adventures, oh no, Padme's stuck in a bucket, she's got to get out before the lava.
She's in the bucket. Oh no,
Anakin's arm is caught in the thing, he's got to survive. It feels like a video game. It feels just totally pointless. It takes up time in an already super long movie. It's 10 minutes of just garbage.
Yeah, not
messing
to mention,
around.
Yeah, not to mention this movie is 2.5 hours long.
Oh god, it's so long.
It's a big watch.
But that scene from when they get in there to when they get captured by the Geonosians, that scene was not in the original screenplay. It was not shot when they were actually doing the same shooting for all of Anakin and Padme's other scenes. In the middle of editing the movie, George Lucas got a brainwave, a big brainwave, and said, I think we should include a weird little droid thing where they jump around the factory and stuff. And so then he got these CGI artists who are already overworked to basically construct a new entire environment with traps, and they got Anakin and Padme to come back. And yeah, in the editing process, you should be done with everything by that point. And no, he added in a whole another segment into the movie.
Wow. Those CGI artists better have been paid well, because that's a lot of work.
They probably weren't, too. CGI artists get treated really badly. Yeah.
Respect your CGI artists.
Yeah. Tip them.
All right. Let's give our final thoughts and final reviews for this movie before we gotta peace out of here.
All right. Well, this is by far the worst Star Wars movie. In my mind, there's not even a competition. There are some other bad ones, but this one has no quality, has nothing redeeming about it, is completely flawed in every sense of the word. The music is good, but I don't think it's used appropriately, and I like a couple of the designs, and I feel bad for the CGI artists. And Ewan McGregor is Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I love him for it. Besides that, there is just nothing of any quality. It makes me angry when I have to talk about it. So, but now I've gotten through the worst one. So now we can talk about other Star Wars films, and I will know in my heart that I have gotten through the worst one. So, with that being said, I'm giving this movie a 1 out of 10.
Oh, the lowest it can go.
The lowest it can go.
You don't go like 0? You don't go
No,
to like 0?
no.
So just 1? Okay.
Yeah,
So I guess, we can consider this the lowest rated movie that you've given on the podcast.
Yeah.
And you didn't even like Reanimator that we reviewed earlier this week, so.
Oh, no, I liked Reanimator, just not as
much.
Not as much.
Yeah.
Not nearly as much as some of the others, but.
I have to second kind of what Jack has already said. Like, this movie, it has some redeeming qualities, like the music, like Ewan McGregor, like all that kind of stuff, but overall, this movie just really didn't do it for me. I like Star Wars, and I like this movie. I used to like this movie and had like the nostalgia filter of like Star Wars, super cool, yeah. But looking back on it now, it's just not as enjoyable of a watch for me as it was when I was like 10. So I think I'm gonna have to be a bit more generous with like my review, and I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10.
Oh, okay. Kaitlyn, what are your final thoughts on Attack of the Clones?
Well, I feel like I was a little harsh on The Phantom Menace now for giving it a 0. So I take my 0 back and I'll give it a 2.
All right. That's valid.
However, this movie takes its 0.
This movie takes the 0?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
The only redeeming thing I can say about this movie is that it does have some hilarious, cringeworthy moments.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Obi-Wan. Those are the only 2 good things about the movie.
It's definitely good for a laugh.
Yes.
If it just wasn't 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, if you were planning on wasting 2.5-hour movies by kind of half paying attention to a movie while also playing a game on your phone, then this is a great movie.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
It's
It's great for background noise.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's pretty much it for our review of Attack of the Clones. Before we go, though, Jack and I have kind of a special announcement for everything. So we've been streaming through KMSC Radio on, here in the radio studio on campus. But we have recently began to record our episodes, and we've now begun to make an archive of our episodes on a YouTube channel.
Yes.
So the Ravings and Reviews podcast on YouTube, you can go there and watch some of our earlier episodes.
Yep, if you've missed any episodes in the past, or if you don't have time to make it to our next scheduled one, or maybe you want to go back and revisit one after you've seen the movie and want to hear our thoughts on it again.
Yeah.
Ravings and Reviews podcast on YouTube. We've got our first 4 episodes, and I am planning on getting the rest of them uploaded very soon here. Yeah. So consider giving us a like, maybe subscribe.
Yeah, I mean, if I remember right, the 4 episodes that are on there right now are Lights Out, which was our first episode ever, which is amazing. Lights Out, Killer Clowns, Evil Dead, and
Phantom Menace.
And Kaitlyn's first
Phantom
episode,
Menace.
Phantom Menace.
Okay.
Yep.
Taxi Driver will be there soon, but
Taxi Driver will be there soon. Yes.
Yes. So. All right, I guess that's it from us for the night. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to us ramble about this not-so-great movie.
We will be back on Monday to talk about my film recommendation, Tusk. So make sure you are tuned in for that one.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
All right, see ya.